Hello, beautiful people. Back at it again with another video. Oh, that was awkward. At the start of this video, I'm going to talk about how to follow your bliss in the everyday. So one time I was presenting my research proposal. You know, when you present your research proposal to a group to like the reader, the external examiner basically, and then you have your supervisor or supervisors in the room. And I was presenting my proposal and it was, on my screen. And obviously I was sharing my computer. My screen said, follow your highest excitement or follow your bliss. And it had some sunflowers in the background. Listen, that was a pretty good screen. I remember my supervisor looked at my desktop, being projected onto the background. And she was like, is that your screen? And I was like, yes. And she was like, oh, okay. And in that moment, I was like, oh my God, the point of this video is to talk about following your highest excitement, following your bliss, following your fun. I think it's really, really important to integrate fun into your everyday. And I actually learned this lesson from my sister. My sister is a Capricorn through and through. She is one of the most organized people I know. She's a superwoman. I mean, she's Wonder Womaning things in here, Gal Gadotting things in here. And she watches so many series. Like, she'll be like, oh, have you watched The Expanse? Have you watched 6 seasons of Lost? No, I'm kidding. But literally she'll be like, have you watched 6 seasons of Lost? How do you even have the time to watch all of these series? And she watches so much stuff. It's not like she's, one of those people who watches a lot of stuff and just plays placed in. Hey, what is going on today? What I learned from her is that you absolutely need to integrate fun into your daily routine. And for me, actually a couple of weeks ago, I just had I had serious burnout. I just couldn't do anything. I was just super exhausted. I'm not really one of those people who gets Zoom fatigued or anything like that, But in this moment, I was like, I just feel so exhausted, dehydrated. I feel so exhausted. I just don't have the energy to move on. You know what I mean? So what I started to do was I just started to integrate a lot more fun into my routine. Usually I'm like, watching a series is super unproductive. Watching TV is super unproductive. That's not helpful at all, But I think you can do it in a way that feels good. There's this yoga that I do. I think it's yoga with Adrian. And one of the things yogis say is follow what feels good. So I think a lot of productivity gurus, they have, this is my morning routine and this is my evening routine, And if you're somebody who is trying to kind of look for a morning routine or an evening routine and you follow and you watch and you're like, okay, so at 4 a.m. he wakes up and he brushes his teeth. Okay. Then at 5 a.m. he goes for a jog. Okay, cool. Got all of that down. And then, you stick to that for a week, you stick to that for 2 weeks, and then after that you fall off and you're just feeling like, no, I'm just not a productive person. I just personally don't feel super productive. Actually, the problem is that you should come up with your own routine. You can take the best pieces from people's morning routines or people's evening routines, but you actually need to figure out what works for you. I hope that you got something in what I just said. Love and light as usual.